Hi, I'm Stephanie Chan. I'm a senior political science major, and I just want to let you know about some of the easy and fantastic ways you can get more involved in research. So this presentation is mostly oriented towards getting into research in political science, but you can use the tips from this presentation to get into research in any discipline. So you might ask, why should I do research? There are so many reasons to do it. You can apply research to practical problems to solve practical problems, like analyzing policy implementation and policy effects, to solving the global economy. In other words, you can use your research to change the world. It could just be to satisfy your own curiosity. For more concrete reasons, research can help you get a job. You could work for a think tank, you could work at any level of government, you could work for a contractor or the private sector more generally, and you can work in many different areas of research. Research could also be the key to helping you get into graduate school. And if you're crazy like me, it can help get you into academia. There is no single path towards research, but here are some key resources to help you get started. Faculty do incredible research, and they can help you learn how to approach your own research projects. So we'll be going over how to identify which faculty are the best for you to work with, and some tips for chatting with them. We'll also look into how to figure out which classes have research components to help you get started, and some additional resources like the Institute for Social Science Research, or ISER, and the SBS Academic Leaders Fellows, which I think we are now calling ALF. Each faculty member has their own faculty page, and this is a really easy way to figure out who you would want to work with. The faculty pages can be accessed at paulsci.umass.edu/people/faculty. And most on their page will have some sort of summary. The faculty pages all vary, but they're all very helpful. This is the faculty page for Professor Ahmed, and as you can see, she has a bio with what she studies and a little bit about her book. Further down on the page, you can see that she focuses on comparative politics, and there's also a related news section. This is a great place to get started because if you click on the links, they'll lead you to articles about what the professor has done, a little bit about their research, and it's a great way to get a gist of what they do without diving too deeply into all the jargon. If you want to find out more about what they research, you can look at, if they have it, their research tab. So here Professor Ahmed has a link to her book, some links to her scholarly articles, and other publications as well. Professor Ahmed also has a teaching page which lists the courses that she has taught. So, do any of these classes interest you? It's a great way to gauge if this professor is someone that you would want to work with and if their research areas overlap with yours or the research interests overlap with yours. If their classes look interesting to you, then that's great. Maybe you would like to work with this professor or take their classes in general. If not, then that's fine. Move on to the next person's faculty page. There are plenty of faculty, and I am sure you can find at least one person who you could work with. If you have a particular research focus, you can also use the research clusters page to locate faculty who work on a particular topic. So this page can be accessed on the same spot as a general faculty page. And it will list the faculty who work on a specific area like democracy. And it's just a very easy way to see more generally who studies what. Who will be helpful to you in your path to becoming a researcher. So ask lots and lots of people for help. These are just some of the people who have helped me on one of my projects, Beyond the Party Binary. And I'm sure I've missed at least a few people. To them, I am very sorry. So if you can tell me who every single person is on this slide, then you get Professor Bingo. So now that you have an idea about who you would want to work with, we should talk a little bit about how to talk to faculty. I recommend, and I know others have also recommended, that you go to talk to them during office hours rather than trying to catch them at the end of class because they're usually rushing. They might have to talk to like 5 other people, and you might have to get to your next class as well. And now that you've looked at their faculty pages, you know plenty about them, so you can ask lots of questions. Like, you can ask about their teaching. I saw you teach this class, can you tell me a little bit more about it? Or you can ask about their research, and you can really flatter them. You can say, your research looks really interesting. What are you working on now? How did you become interested in this topic? Could you use a research assistant? And you can also ask about topics that you saw on the related news sections. And just as a quick tip, you can make a flashcard with the questions or topics you want to ask them about. So that if you get nervous and you forget what you want to say, you can just look down at your flashcard. So if I were preparing a flashcard to talk to Professor Ahmed, I might write down comparative democratization. So if I get really nervous while talking to her, I can just look back down at my flashcard and say, oh yeah, I wanted to talk to you about this as well. Can you tell me a little bit more about your class, comparative democratization? And I understand that it can be really scary to go to talk to faculty. As hard as it is to believe, they are actually human as well. So even if you are nervous, you know that you have the flashcard as a backup if you forget what you want to say. So it really is worth talking to faculty, finding more about their research, and I promise you can talk to faculty. If you would like to work with a faculty member or graduate student in a more structured way, you can use the Undergraduate Research Engagement Program. This program will allow you to get credit for being a research assistant. And I like to think of it as a form of apprenticeship. So while you work for the faculty member or graduate student, they're teaching you the tools of the trade. So if you become a UREPer, or Undergraduate Research Engagement Program student, ask lots and lots of questions about the project you're working on. Why are we working on it this way? What is the goal of this part of the project? So you can get a bigger picture view of the project you're working on. On the slide, I've included the link to learn more about the program, and this link will also lead you to current openings in the program, so check back when you'd like to apply. And being a research assistant and being on a research team can be a lot of fun. I have made some of my best friends while being on a research team, and I absolutely loved our research team. So another way that you can get more into research is to take research-oriented classes. And a lot of classes have research components added into them. So to find out which ones might work for you, just gossip with a lot of people. You can ask professors about whether or not they incorporate research components into their classes. You can ask friends about classes they have taken. You can ask graduate students, and you can always go to advising. So here are just some additional resources. There are lots of additional resources, and these are just two. The Institute for Social Science Research will provide methods training through workshops on programs like R, Stata, and Vivo, how to do interviews, and they will also help you with your particular project. The SBS Academic Leaders Fellows is a low time commitment program, so you don't have to put too much time into it, and you get a lot of resources for the time that you do put into it. So it will introduce you to opportunities across the Social Behavioral Sciences College, and it will also allow you to meet professors in a less formal setting and allow you to practice talking to professors in a less intimidating setting. And you can also get to know a lot of other SBS students. Jackie Brusso Pereira, whose picture is on the bottom right, puts so much heart into this program. She is the Director of Student Success and Retention, and she does a wonderful job of running this program. So I really do recommend getting involved. I've included the links to both of these resources on the slides so you can learn more and hopefully join. So now that you know about all of these great opportunities to get into research, I want to share one of my favorite quotes with you. While I was interning at the Bureau of Labor Statistics, which is an internship that I got because of my research skills, I got to hear Dr. Patil speak. Dr. Patil is the chief data scientist of the United States. He said, "When we are not chasing with the utmost urgency, people get hurt by our lack of passion." So it is worth learning to do good research and using that research to make the world a better place. Please let me know if you have any questions at all. My email is right there. I would love to hear from you. Thank you.